Got to turn on my mic again. Sorry about that. Okay, I've been talking for a while and hadn't had anything come out of my mouth. Okay. Hi, Chris. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. So, I pre recorded the lesson on this topic. Um, I recorded it last night and I scheduled it to play at 1 p.m. my time, but it never happened because apparently I don't know how to do that correctly. So I decided to delete that and just go live and give the vocal lesson now. So I'm really doing good. I forgot to turn on my mic when I started this too. Okay. But hi Halsey, good to see you. The two things I want to focus on in this lesson are diphthongs and shadow vowels. And I know that none of you know what those, or most of you may not know what those terms are, may not have even heard of them before. So I will define them and help you to understand how to use them in a way that will enhance your singing. And like I tried to say earlier when my mic was off, that so much of the techniques and things that I learned studying opera singing in college um, have been so ingrained in me that I don't even think about them anymore. I just automatically use what I was taught without even thinking about it. It's automatic. Hi, Indy. Um, and if you practice techniques enough of anything, it becomes second nature to you, and you don't really have to think about it anymore. And I know not everyone, in fact, most people don't want to sing and sound like an opera singer, but so much of what you learn studying opera singing can help you sing any genre better, have a better sound, a better quality without sounding like an opera singer. Hi, Tattooed Angel. Hi, Becca. Um, Hi, Chris. So, uh, to start off, also, I learned some of these things just being in school choirs from eighth grade on, but most of what I've learned was studying voice in college. Um, the first thing that I was going to explain is what is a diphthong. And a diphthong is a vowel that has another vowel at the very end of it, and most vowels do. Like the word or the vowel A, if you're singing the vowel sound a, it has a sound and an e sound, and so many other vowels are like that. I is the same way. It starts out almost like an ah, and that at the end of it, it has e sound. I. And what I hear a lot of people do that are not trained is when they have a diphthong like that, they cling to the latter part of the diphthong, the vowel, which has more of a closed off sound to it. So the sound doesn't project as well and it's not as pretty. And I can give you an example. Um, if you sing My Way, a lot of people might sing it, I did it my way. And for the untrained ear, that may be okay, but your mouth is going like this when you make an e sound, e my way, and it's closing off the sound. It's not letting the sound come out as well. And so when I sing my way, of course, I also don't sing from the upper part of my chest. I'm supporting my voice with my air, which was my first lesson I gave. And so I sing, I did it my way. And you hear I just put the E at the end of my way, and I'm keeping my mouth up and down. Even when I make the E sound, I'm kind of pursing my lips and keeping my mouth this way, which makes the sound go forward and it has a prettier sound. My way. It's a lot different. Um, hold on, somebody's at my door. Just a second. Sorry about that. Let me mute my mic real quick. Hello? Okay, there I am. Sorry for the interruption, everybody. Hi, Misty Rose. Hi, everybody else who came in, Jeffrey. So I explained the diphthong, and there are other examples. But that makes me think also the hardest vowel for anybody to sing and sing well is an E sound because your mouth wants to go this way. So even when I sing something like the word need, someone might sing the song If I Needed You, and they'll sing If I needed you, if I needed you. And I'm also not putting any real support under my voice to help you hear the difference between when you put support under the voice and when you don't with your air. So, but it's more wide. Needed you, need. So when I sing it, I mean, if I wanted to sing that song operatically, I would go, if I needed you, but that's a little over the top. So I don't sing it that way. I want to sound more country. It's a country song. So I'll still give it some support with air, but I'll sing, if I needed you. It's not as loud and powerful, but I still got the up and down vertical sides of my mouth, and I'm pursing my lips a little to get the sound to come forward. It also prevents it from getting too nasal. And these are all little tiny things that we study when or and learn when we study voice that help because an opera singer has to learn how to project their voice without a microphone over an orchestra and sometimes over an orchestra and chorus. So uh, it takes years of training to really get to where you can do that and not hurt your vocal cords at all. An opera singer can sing for hours and never strain their voice. Um, but it's muscle training as well. But you're using, when you sing opera, you're using your entire upper torso as well as your voice. but I'm getting off topic here. So, the other thing I wanted to point out is what is a shadow vowel? A shadow vowel is a vowel that comes at the end of certain consonants. And if you've ever seen Leah Salonga sing "On My Own," at the very end of that, especially, but she does shadow vowels throughout that song, and it enhances the musical emotional expression of her singing because she adds this little vowel at the end. On the very last part of "On My Own," she sings, "But only on my own." She'll hold on to the "in" a little, and then she'll go, "n," and that enhances the emotional expression and really pulls the listener into her, that they have a stronger connection between the singer and the listener. You can feel her emotion because she's so distraught. She loves this person, Marius, that doesn't love her back, and it's heart-wrenching, but, um, these are little tricks you can learn to enhance how you perform a song and make it more emotionally expressive. Another singer that I recommend everybody learn to listen to is Mario Lanza. He was the greatest singer I ever heard, I think. And he sang operatically, but he didn't always sing opera songs. He did a lot of movies and sang in English a lot of the time. But every single word he sang, he he utilized how he pronounced each word to enhance the emotion in his singing. And that's one of the things I want people to learn from him if they will take the time to listen, because he does it so well. And not only did he do that with the words, but every single note he sang, it seemed like it was going to be his last note. Um, so I wanted to explain that to you too. But diphthongs are a tool that you can use to enhance your expression, and so are shadow vowels. Um, like even when I was singing "On My Own," you could tell I was holding on to the open consonant, the more "o" sounds of each vowel, sorry, not consonant, of each vowel. So when I was singing, "But only," and E, I'm not going "E," I'm going "E." Only on my own. And "my own," I waited till the very end of that "my" before I started to sing the "own" to add the "e" at the end of "my." My own. Little tricks, but they really make a difference. And, I don't know if you have any other questions about it, but, another thing I wanted to bring up before I close this out, I see this a lot of times, especially when someone's trying to sing a song that may have a range, either higher or lower than they're used to singing, and if it's higher, they tend to pull their neck forward and tighten up in here, and it also tightens in their jaws. You can see them when they're singing, and they because they don't have any deep breath support, it's all in the upper part of the chest. It increases the tension in the muscles of the throat and in the jaw, and it just makes it sound so much worse. I can try to mimic it, but because of my training, I don't know how well I'll do. But like if I was going to sing um, Noel, Noel. If I was gonna sing it without training, and I'm trying to hold the volume back a little bit. If I was gonna sing it shallow breath up in here and tighten up in here, I would go, Noel, and it's not terrible, but I can sing those notes without any problem, whereas if someone with a lower voice might struggle a little more, and they'll be tightening up here, and it'll kinda sound, because 'cause they're straining their voice, and they don't know how to support it with the air, and also that happens when you try to sing lower than you're used to. A lot of people bend their chin down to try to hit the low notes, "Uh," and that'll cut off the air supply to the vocal cords and cause strain on the voice again. So you don't wanna do either one of those things. Um, and I think, you've heard me sing songs like "Oh Holy Night" before, so I don't have to reproduce that, but, there's so much that you need to know about singing it. It's supposed to be effortless, or at least seem effortless. I'm utilizing a lot of muscles in my midsection between my ribs and my diaphragm, and there's no tension up in the top part of my chest. There's no tension in my shoulders, no tension in my neck, and there's no tension in my jaw. So all of the work is mostly in my midsection, but you don't notice that when somebody's singing well with pretty good technique, even if they're not singing opera. It seems like it's so effortless, and I've heard people say that about some singers. You make it look so easy. Well, that's because they're utilizing a lot of these techniques that I've taught so far, um, that that can help you sound better. Um, that's what also helps. The breath control is what really helps you the most, and that's why that was my first lesson, how to support the voice with air and how to control your breathing. And, if you're utilizing your breath correctly, it becomes more efficient. I was noticing, well, I was listening to a recording I did last night, and I normally don't like to listen to myself, but I was noticing that when I took a breath, you couldn't hear me go, I didn't make a sound when I took a breath. And I remember when I was in college and I would sing something in front of the other students in a class. Uh, one student in particular told me that she thought I was like a stealthy breather because she could never hear me breathe. And she had a hard time not making a sound when she took a breath. um, you can hear it when I talk a lot of times because I'm not focusing on making a quiet breath. But when you're singing, one of the things I do is I keep the arch in the back of my mouth like I'm yawning. And so when I expand my ribs with my muscles between my rib cage and I just let the air come in, it just comes in without making any noise. And it can happen real fast too. It's faster, more efficient to breathe that way than it is to try to breathe in a shallow upper chest way. Um, so I'm not sure if that helps at all, but so much of getting your sound to come out more clear and pretty has to do with having almost a yawn feeling in the back of your mouth most of the time you're singing, so that that air can go through the vocal cords and the sound will just spin at the back of your mouth and then it'll come out. And you should even feel it sometimes vibrate on your lips when you're singing if you're doing it right. So, but if you want to learn to sing like an opera singer, these lessons will definitely help you. But as I said before, it can be applied for any style of singing, any genre. It just makes your singing more clear, pretty, and expressive. You can sing longer phrases. You can learn how to belt a note without straining your voice. These are techniques everybody needs to know, not just opera singers. In fact, I know of some rock singers that went to uh, voice teachers that taught opera to learn how to use some of those techniques when they're doing rock singing without hurting their voice. So, just something to keep in mind. I do apologize for the little interruption I had at the door, but Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm going to close this out now. If you have anything else that you would like to know about singing, please leave a comment after the show, and I will try to see if I can answer any of your questions about singing. And I'm going to try to come up with some more lessons on singing. I don't want to go more than 20 minutes or so per lesson because I think you get lost in all the information when it gets too much at one time. So, y'all take care. God bless. Merry Christmas.